You know this sensation, even if you have never found the right words for it. You glance at what remains in your account, and the number is lower than it should be, yet you cannot pinpoint exactly where the money disappeared to. You were responsible. You did not throw money around carelessly. You monitored the important expenses, the food, the prescriptions, the electricity, and yet somehow there is less remaining at the end of the month than there should be. That sensation is not you being forgetful, and it is not something you are imagining. For a very large number of older adults, a genuine portion of that vanishing money is being silently drained from their account every single month for things that ceased to exist years ago. A service you ended and believed was long gone. A protection plan on something you do not even possess anymore. A tax you may no longer be required to pay at all. Each charge is small enough that you have learned to skim right past it on your statement. But when combined, over the course of a year, they can silently steal more than $1,000 that rightfully belong to you, and they will repeat this next year and the year after that unless you catch them. And here is the part that ought to genuinely alarm you. These charges never stop themselves. No notice arrives in your mailbox to alert you. Nobody picks up the phone to call. Nothing on your statement flashes to indicate that you no longer need to pay this. The money simply continues leaving your account, silently, month after month, and every single month you fail to catch it is another month of the money you spent your entire life earning, remaining in the hands of a corporation rather than staying with you, and left unchecked, it does not gradually disappear. It continues draining, without a sound, for the remainder of your life, until one single individual finally reaches in and switches it off. That individual is never going to be them. It can only ever be you. There is encouraging news, however, and it is the very reason this is the year to finally catch it. In 2026, this precise problem has become so widespread that the people whose responsibility it is to protect consumers are clamping down firmly, compelling these companies to make their charges far simpler to escape. So there has never been a better time than this year to track yours down and shut them off permanently. Stay with me all the way through, because the fifth one is not a company at all. It is money pulled directly out of your Social Security payment every single month, for a reason that may have quietly stopped being accurate years ago. The first one conceals itself inside your own bank or credit card statement, and it is that small recurring charge you no longer remember agreeing to. A subscription. Perhaps it was a free trial you enrolled in once, years back, and never quite got around to ending. Perhaps it is security software on a computer you barely power on anymore, silently renewing itself each year at $100 or more. Perhaps it is a streaming platform, a news outlet, a membership, or an application you have not opened in over a year. On their own, each one appears far too insignificant to deal with. $9 in one place, $12 somewhere else. But combined, for the typical household, they amount to well over $150 annually, poured straight into nothing for things nobody is even using. And these companies engineer it precisely that way on purpose. It is referred to as set it and forget it, and they are wagering everything on the forgetting part. The method to stop it is straightforward, but you are the one who must take action. Sit down with a single month of your bank statement and examine every charge on it, one line at a time. Any charge you do not recognize or no longer make use of, call the number printed on the statement and end it. If a company makes cancellation difficult, and some of them absolutely will, that is precisely the conduct regulators are cracking down on this year. So remain firm and continue pressing until it is finished. If they give you the runaround, understand that the law is finally standing in your corner. The second one is a fee your cable or internet provider has been collecting from you month after month for a piece of hardware typically the modem or the box that delivers the signal into your home. Now here is what nearly nobody realizes. If you purchased your own equipment, or if you returned theirs and they continued billing you regardless, that fee is not simply unfair, it is against the law. A federal law enacted several years ago made it illegal for these companies to bill you for equipment you are not genuinely renting from them, and yet the charge, frequently $15 per month, which totals $180 every year, continues appearing because their billing system quietly kept it active. Look at your cable or internet bill and locate the line that reads equipment or rental or gateway. Then call and pose one straightforward question. Am I being charged to rent equipment, and do I actually own it, or did I already send it back? If it turns out you own it, instruct them to remove the fee and then request that they reimburse you for what they incorrectly billed. A great many people receive months of that money back with a single phone call. The third one is a warranty or a service agreement, the kind you were sold on a vehicle, an appliance, or an electronic device, promising to cover future repairs. Here is the quiet trap. A great many of these renew automatically, year after year, long after the item has disappeared or the coverage has already lapsed. People continue paying for a warranty on a car they sold 2 years prior, or on a refrigerator that broke down and was swapped out, simply because the charge kept renewing and nobody ever brought it to a halt. And even when the item is still sitting inside your home, these contracts are widely known for being nearly impossible to actually use when the moment arrives to file a claim. So if you are currently paying for one, ask yourself just 2 questions. Do I still possess the item it is meant to cover? And have I ever actually managed to use it? If the answer to either question is no, call and end it, and inquire whether you are owed a refund for the portion you never used. Very often you are. The fourth one is a monthly charge for something called credit monitoring or identity protection. So many people enrolled in one of these years ago, frequently right after a retailer or a financial institution sent a letter stating their information may have been compromised, and it included a few complimentary months at the beginning. Then those free months concluded, the monthly charge quietly kicked in, and it has been running ever since, sometimes for years, at $15 or $20 each month. And here is what truly stings. For most people, it is money spent on something you can accomplish yourself, at no cost whatsoever. You are permitted to freeze your own credit for free, and that freeze offers stronger protection than most of these paid services will ever provide. Look on your statement for any charge containing words like protection, monitoring, or secure within the name. If you are not genuinely using it, cancel it and place a free freeze on your credit instead. And the fifth one, the one I promised would be different, is not a company at all. It is a portion of money pulled directly out of your Social Security payment or your pension every single month and handed over to the government as income tax. Now, at some point in the past, a great many people chose to have this tax deducted on purpose, simply to be cautious, so they would not be confronted with a large bill in the spring. And back at that time, that may have made complete sense. But here is what quietly shifts as you grow older, and what almost nobody ever goes back to verify. Each year past 65, the portion of your income the government does not tax becomes larger, and with the newer deductions written specifically for seniors, a great many older individuals living on Social Security and a modest amount beyond that now owe little or absolutely nothing in federal income tax, and yet the withholding continues. Every month, month after month, tax is extracted from your payment for a bill you may no longer owe, and the government simply holds your own money throughout the entire year, returning it without a single cent of interest, and only when you remember to file for it. Consider for a moment someone who has had that tax taken from every payment for the past 5 or 6 years. never once pausing to question whether they still owe it, quietly surrendering money that was theirs to keep the entire time. If that could be you, you do not need to guess about it. A free tax counselor for seniors can review your income in just a few minutes and tell you plainly whether you owe any federal tax whatsoever. And if the answer is that you do not, you can halt the withholding with one brief form submitted to Social Security or to whoever issues your pension. It is a straightforward voluntary withholding request, and stopping it means that money finally remains in your payment, exactly where it always belonged, beginning with your very next check. For someone stretching a modest payment to cover the month, that can amount to more than $1,000 a year returned, money they could have been living on all along. Now step back and consider what all 5 of these have in common, because it is the very same silent thread woven through every single one. Each of them is a charge that continued running on its own, long after the reason behind it had come and gone. And not a single one of them will ever stop by itself. The company will not stop it. The government will not stop it. The only individual on this planet who can switch these off is you. But that also means the power rests entirely in your own hands, and shutting them off costs you nothing beyond a bit of time and a handful of phone calls this week. So here is precisely what to do. First, gather 1 month of your bank and card statements and examine every charge, one line at a time. Second, cancel any subscription or service you are no longer using. Third, contact your cable or internet provider about that equipment fee and request a refund. Fourth, cancel any warranty or credit monitoring you are not making use of and ask to have your money returned. And fifth, if tax is being withheld from your Social Security or your pension, have a free senior tax counselor determine whether you even still owe it, and if you do not, submit the single form that brings it to a stop. Every one of these actions is free to take, and together they can return hundreds, and for certain people, well over $1,000 annually, back to where it truly belongs. This is general information intended to help you understand what to look for, and it is not tax or legal guidance, because every individual situation is somewhat different. I have included where to begin for each of these in the description directly below this video. And before you leave, think of one person who is quietly paying for things that ended long ago and has absolutely no idea it is still occurring. A friend, a parent, a neighbor living on a fixed income. Share this video with them. 1 hour spent with their bank statement this week could return money to them that they never realized they were losing. Then go and review your own, and help someone you care about review theirs.